Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and happy birthday if today's your birthday. Today we are diving into all things Coachella. Now, did I go into Coachella with the intention of vlogging? Yes, I did. Did I do a good job at that? No, I did not. I did get a couple clips though, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little recap video and then answer a couple of questions that you guys sent in to me about my experience there. So let's get into it. So I thought we could start off with some of the content that I actually took while I was there at Coachella, and then we could move into some other parts of this video. So I actually didn't vlog at all during Friday, which was day one. I just literally didn't even think of it. All of a sudden at Harry Styles, I was like, oh my gosh, I should get some videos of this for the vlog. So I do have a couple little Harry Styles videos, but on day two, which was Saturday, I filmed myself getting ready. So let's go ahead and get into that. It's actually already day two of Coachella. I did not vlog anything yesterday, and I intended to get clips on my phone, but I totally forgot until, honestly, the best part, Harry Styles. So I do have some clips from us watching Harry Styles, and I'm going to put that in now. He was incredible. I can't believe he brought out Shania Twain. I was losing my mind at that. First time seeing Harry live, and it truly lived up to my expectations and beyond. I'm so freaking in love with that man. He is gorgeous. I'm not sure where my face sunscreen is. Is it in here? Obviously gotta be diligent about this. We were outside a lot, but I made it all through yesterday without burning, so I feel pretty solid about that. I'm also gonna use a little bit of the Supergoop Glow Stick. It says SPF 50 in it. Anyway, Harry freaking Styles. I mean, what else can I say? It was so good. I had so much fun. We have another day ahead. It's actually the first day of Revolve Festival today. So that's what we're getting ready for now. There's no one who we really are like dying to see at Coachella until like 6 o'clock or something tonight. Obviously if we get there earlier, there are people who will go and see, or we'll just like hang out and get some drinks and chill there just because it's a sort of good vibe. But we're not in any big rush, which is actually very, very nice. We are keeping Coachella makeup very light and minimal because I am not trying to reapply my makeup or worry about touching it up or anything like that throughout the day. Yesterday, I didn't look in the mirror literally one time after I got there. Mostly because there are no mirrors in the bathrooms. We use that. They have like nicer bathrooms in the VIP area, which we can access, but there was usually a line for those, and I was like, F it, I'll just go in the porta potty, which is gross, but who cares, whatever. So moral of the story, the less makeup, the better, so I don't even have to worry about what my face looks like. So I'm really just gonna do a bit of concealer. Honestly, like sort of similar to what I do with my normal makeup. I have been using the NARS Creamy Concealer that I bought in the vlog before this one, and I've really been liking it. It does crease a little, but that's okay, not a big deal. It is really nice and like radiant. It blends really nicely, and you don't have to use like too much of it. I am tired today, you guys. It was so hard getting home from the festival. It legitimately took us so long to get a ride and then to get back here. So anyway, we didn't get back here until like 3:15 in the morning. So I was in bed by like 4:30 and then woke up this morning at 10, and here we are. No time to lose. It's just one of those weekends where you just gotta be down to rally. I'm also using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer in Golden Tan. This is another thing I picked up at that Sephora, and I really like it. A little goes a long way. And I have been using the Rare Beauty blush that I bought as well. I used this the last 2 days. This is in the color Joy. I really like it, but I do want to try this other product that I got from my Revolve Beauty box, Youthforia Chemical Reaction. So it basically uses like the pH levels in your skin to create your perfect blush. I tried it on my hand yesterday. It's just like a really nice pinky. Although I don't really know, how should I apply this? Do I put it on my finger first, directly on my face? How do I blend it? I am having second thoughts. Well, okay, we're just gonna try it. Maybe with a beauty blender. Yeah, that's really pretty. It's a little understated. I might still add a little bit of that Rare Beauty. On a normal day, this would be perfect, but again, Coachella, we're going a little bit harder. I cannot begin to tell you guys how pigmented this is. I'm sure you've heard. It's literally insane. I'm gonna show you how little I'm gonna use of it. Like, I literally just tap my finger and that's gonna be enough blush for my whole cheek. It is insane. So I feel like it's good, you have to be careful with it, but a little goes a long way, so I feel like this is gonna last me so long because it'll take me forever to make it through the pot with how little I need to use. My camera battery died, but anyway, I just put a little bit more blush over my nose for a little sun-kissed moment. Eye makeup, I literally don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, I think I'm gonna do bronzy today, and I'm gonna do like a pink thing tomorrow. We are winging it today, friends. What else is new? It was so dusty and windy yesterday. It was so brutal. And when I was blowing my nose this morning, it was just like so much dirt coming out of my nose. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, from here on out with my makeup, it's pretty much gonna be the norm. So I'm just gonna finish doing my mascara, my eyebrows. I'm gonna get dressed and I'll show you what I am wearing today when I'm finished. Okay, Vic and I are about to head off. The boys actually already left to head out to Revolve Festival. Classic, the boys going to Revolve before us.
The plus ones arriving before the people that got invited. So weird.
Of course.
We'll find them at the In-N-Out truck.
Yeah, they apparently there's a long line, so I'm just hoping that it's so long that we can just slide into the front of the line with them. Fingers crossed. So then we went to Revolve Festival day one, where I think I literally took 0 clips if I recall. If I do have any, they're gonna go in right now. But pretty sure that there was nothing there. And I got so many questions about Revolve Festival. I know things have been talked about online, so I'm gonna be talking about that during the Q&A portion of this video, which I think is going to come up next, so stay tuned. But we had so much fun there before we moved over to Coachella. We got to Coachella sort of late that day. I have to say, getting to and from the festival this year was really, really difficult. It was really hard to catch rides there, way harder than it has been in years past. So it was definitely a bit of a learning curve of how much time we had to give ourselves to actually get there. But once we got there at day 2, we were able to catch a lot of the music that we wanted to see. Doing such a good job vlogging so far today. I already warned you guys it was not going to be great. But we're at Coachella now. We're in the VIP section. We just got some spicy pie, 10 out of 10 at Coachella. And we're going to just scarf this down and then we're heading straight to Flume.
Coachella, make some noise for Vince Staples. How are we feeling out there?
The headliner on day 2 was Billie Eilish, which was someone else who I was so excited to see, and she did not disappoint. She put on such a great show. It was a really good mix of like really upbeat, fun music and also some more like chiller vibes.
Russell, get a good shot for me. Yes, ready, recording.
Absolutely loved her. Definitely one of the highlights of the weekend. I thought that she was so incredible. It was my first time seeing her live too, and she did not disappoint. It was great. On day 3, we went back to Revolve Festival again.
Silence on set.
Good morning, everyone. It is day 3 of Coachella, and we are about to head out to Revolve Festival. Last day. I can't believe it. This weekend has felt like a million years, yet somehow also felt like 2 seconds. So that's on Coachella. And our Uber is here, so we're heading out. Basically, that's the way that we sort of set up our time there, was like Revolve Festival. We would go, have some drinks, chill out there a little bit. They also had free food, which you could get, take a bunch of content, sort of get all that stuff out of the way earlier in the day before we moved to Coachella, where we slowed down on the drinking a little bit more and instead just focused on music. Again, I'm going to talk a lot more about like the tickets that we had, what I think is worth it, what I don't think is worth it in the Q&A portion, so just stay tuned for for all of that stuff. We didn't spend quite as long at Revolve Festival this time because we had some shows that we wanted to see earlier in the day. The Sunday lineup was actually pretty good. So first up we saw Run the Jewels. Hopped over to Phineas, which I don't think I got any clips from, unfortunately. At that point, it was about 5:30 p.m. and I was getting a little hangry, so we only stayed there for a song or two before we moved to go get me some chicken fingers and fries, which I devoured. They made me feel so much better. It is the weird thing about festivals is your eating schedule is totally off. You're not eating nearly as much as you normally would. So it was 5:30 p.m. and I literally hadn't had a meal yet that day. I think I'd had like some goldfish in the morning at her Airbnb, which does not count. So it was definitely good to get some food in me, much needed. Now day 3 was Sunday, and Connor and I, along with our friend Russell, who came with us, he's one of Connor's friends from Canada, had decided that we were going to drive back on Sunday night rather than Monday morning, just to like get home and have all day Monday to recover, because we knew that it was going to be a big recovery process. And so we took Sunday very, very chill, but we did discover something so fun and cool at Coachella that I had never heard of before, and that is a secret speakeasy that apparently they do there every single year. I heard someone in front of me in line saying that they go there every year. They'd gone there like every year for the past 10 years or something like that. And you need a password to get inside. I think the password changes every year, I would have to assume. And when you get inside, it's a very chill tiki vibe, which was so good and so needed because it was hot on Sunday, like really hot. We were all pretty exhausted and on day 3 of a festival, which is hard enough as is. So having a nice grassy, shady area where we could get a nice cool cocktail and sit down and just chill out was amazing. And just so cool to be in this like sort of secret area. There was a line to get in there. We maybe waited in line for like 30-ish minutes, but I think it's totally worth it if you have like a little period, maybe like an hour or two, where you don't have anything that you're dying to do at Coachella. I think this is worth it. I'm sure you can find information on how to get into it on Reddit. That's probably where I will check for future years because I definitely want to go back there again. And after we left the speakeasy, I think maybe we hit one other show. I really can't remember fully anymore. And then we headed over to Doja Cat, which was incredible. Doja put on such a good show. She was giving such big headliner energy, like the costume changes, the performance, like she was giving, and I was here for it. Such a fun vibe, especially for it being our very last show of Coachella. We were so bummed to miss wow, okay, I'm having a lot of trouble speaking today, clearly. Swedish House Mafia and the weekend together, but it just had to be done. We had just reached a point where we were like, we need to get home. 3 days of a festival, was a lot harder than it was when I was 24. And that is basically what I got from Coachella. As you can see, mostly just concert clips and not a whole lot of vlog clips. But we had the best time. If you guys don't know, Connor was like very reluctant about going, just as, I don't know, just had decided like, oh, it probably is not for me. But after going, he really had a great time and also got very excited about it even before we went eventually. It ended up being such a fun time and we had such an amazing group. Highly, highly recommend going with a group that is just on the same vibe and page as you. Again, I'm gonna talk about that more in a second, but I think that made a huge difference, having a group of people who wanted to do all the same things, similar things at least, and a couple people who were just go with the flow made all the difference. Oh my gosh, what a weekend. It was so much fun.
Kitty cat break. Hi, cutie.
Let's get into some questions that you guys had about Coachella, and I guess there's some sort of festival-ish random things, but mostly it's Coachella-based questions. I want to start by saying this is only my second Coachella, so I am by no means an expert, a pro, and I had only been 4 years ago, so it was sort of like brand new to me. I didn't really remember where anything was or the way that everything works, so this is all just based off my experience really from this last time that I went. So let's get into the questions. So one thing that was echoed a lot throughout the questions that you guys sent in was just like, is it worth it? Is it truly actually worth it to go to Coachella and pay as much money as it costs? Because it is certainly not a cheap trip. And obviously I think that this is totally dependent on you and your situation and who you are as a person and what you're into. I don't think that there's one clear answer of yes, it's worth it or no, it isn't. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. I am so glad that I went. On top of that, I'm very glad that I upgraded to VIP this year instead of just GA, which I'll talk about more in a second. That being said, you should never spend more than you can afford. So, you know, if you have to save up a ton of money for this, make sure that it's worth it for you. Are you super into the music? Are you really interested in things that are happening there that year? That's going to be, you know, a really important thing to ask yourself. You know, at the end of the day, no one should really be spending above their means. So if you can't afford to go to a sort of expensive music festival like this, don't. There are tons and tons and tons of other music festivals that you can go to that do not cost as much money as Coachella does. Now, that being said, did I find it to be worth it? Yes. Did I think it was overrated? No. But every experience is what you make of it, you guys. And that really is the truth in every circumstance. But I mean, just using Coachella as an example, it is prime. I mean, people were calling it the Influencer Olympics this year because so many influencers go there purely to get content. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what your goal is with going to Coachella, you go and do that. That is all you. For me, yes, I want to get some content. I want to wear cool outfits. I want to get some cool photos, but I am not going to sacrifice experiences that I want to get that content. It's not for me. I don't think I missed a single show that I really, really wanted to see. There were a couple people where just the schedules didn't work out and I just couldn't make it, but it wasn't because I was stuck somewhere creating content or anything like that. I mean, hence my very lame attempt at vlogging. I just was not there to make content. I was there to have a good time, be with my friends, see some music that I wanted to see. Those were my main goals of going. Again, there is nothing wrong with going somewhere to get content. You know, there's nothing wrong with going somewhere to like be there and for like the experience of being there more than like to actually do what the experience is. That is up to you to decide what you want to do. For me, I knew that I wanted to like be out there and going for it, you know? I want to be running around all over Coachella, bouncing from stage to stage, seeing music that I know, checking out some new music that I haven't heard before. And that's exactly what I did. So I think for me, it just was worth it because I had such an incredible time there. That felt like a very long-winded way of saying like, yeah, I had fun. How pricey are the drinks at the festival and is the food good? Everything there is really expensive, you guys. Shots, $15 for one shot. They're big shots. Don't get me wrong. They're big shots. They're not like, you know, skimping, but it's not cheap. It's really not. Hence like why we were going to Revolve Festival first, where the drinks are free and drinking more there, less at the festival because it's so expensive. Same with food, like $15 for one slice of pizza. That's totally ridiculous. It's ridiculous how expensive it is. It really is, which is why I say like you have to make that decision for yourself, whether it's worth it to spend that money or not. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to put that money up. Is it true that this event is really only for celebrities or influencers? No, I don't think so. I totally get that that's who you see posting the most about it and talking the most about it. And there definitely is like a huge draw of that crowd. But I mean, there are 250,000 people who go to Coachella. They are not all influencers and celebrities. The large majority of them are not influencers and celebrities. We saw a few celebrities while we were there, which was cool. We saw Halsey and also saw Tiesto. Lots and lots and lots of influencers for sure. Saw tons of them. I have to say, I like saw some influencers who I follow, who I don't know personally, who I was just like sort of disappointed to see just like sitting on their phone the whole time. Friendly reminder that social media is not reality. People may look like they're having the time of their lives when really they are sitting there on their phone at a music festival. Of course, one of my most asked questions was about the Revolve Festival tea. I'm gonna try to keep this short because I'm sure you've heard 10 million other people's sides of the story. Revolve Festival is 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday is when shit went down. I missed that whole shit show by about 10 minutes. I happened to get on a shuttle right before things really started to go down there. So I was not there. I cannot speak on what happened there. I only have heard things. I've seen some videos, probably the same stuff that you guys have seen. Was the shuttle situation an absolute nightmare on Saturday? Absolutely. I mean, people were waiting 2 hours. I luckily only waited about 45 minutes. These claims that people were in like the boiling hot sun without water, not really true. There was water available to people who asked for it, and the whole like queue was under a tent, so you were shaded the whole time. That's not to say maybe at some point the line got so long that it went outside of the tent and then people were outside, maybe they ran out of water. I really don't know what the situation is, you guys. I can only speak to my own experience. But I find it really sort of ridiculous to compare it to something like Fyre Festival, where you were stranded on a random desert island with no food and no way to get home because you're on a random island. And on top of that, the festival did not exist. It wasn't real. You didn't have a place to stay. You know, like, that is so extreme compared to what we went through. I mean, we waited in a line for maybe some people 2 hours, and then we went somewhere where there was free drinks and free food and a full festival still happening. It was a real thing, you know? It wasn't fake the way that Fyre Festival was. So I think that that's a little silly. I do understand that apparently there were points where people were like charging and like trampling and people were getting smushed, and I'm sure that was a very scary experience to be a part of. You know, if you feel like, oh my God, like I'm getting like suffocated right now by a crowd, that's super scary. I totally get that. But I have to say, day 2, they hired new security, or maybe brought more security. I'm not sure which. I've heard both ways, and like doubled the amount of shuttles they had. I waited for about 4 or 5 minutes to get on the shuttle when I went on day 2. So they definitely realized that they had fucked up and did their best to fix it for the second day. Okay, I was actually surprised to see this question pop up so many times in my video, or in my question section, and that was, is it like everyone on drugs? No, certainly not. It's not everyone on drugs. Are there a lot of people doing drugs? Yes, there are. But I don't think that that affects anyone else's experience in the long run. All I can say to speak to that is make sure that you're on the same page with the people who you are going to the festival with. I stuck with my people the whole time. We were all on the same page about the kind of fun that we wanted to have. And it made for smooth sailing because we had people who were on the same page as us. That's really the more important question, is who are you going with and what do they want to do at the festival, and making sure you have at least one person who is sort of on the same page as you. A lot of people were asking about the bathroom situation as well, which I want to sort of wrap in with me buying a VIP ticket this year. First of all, I want to say, do I think VIP is necessary to get? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it a great convenience if you feel like you can afford a VIP ticket? Yes, absolutely yes. I was very, very grateful to have it this year for a few reasons. It's a shorter walk to and from the shuttles and Uber pickup area. That's a very small thing, not a big deal. You get access to better bathrooms, but the lines were always very long for those bathrooms, so 90% of the time I went in a porta potty anyway. Are the porta potties disgusting? Yeah. It's a porta potty. It's going to be the same as any other porta potty you've ever been in. Some other perks is that they have bars in there and you can get drinks. If you don't know, you can't just like carry drinks around Coachella with you. There are designated areas where you can get drinks and drink them. So it's nice to have like that designated area where we can go get drinks. We had a designated meeting spot where we knew like, okay, if our group is going to split into 2, we're all going to meet here at this time. And it was that same exact spot every time. It's also grassy in there, whereas most other areas, or not most other, but a lot of other areas in Coachella are just dirt. So it's nice to have a nice little grassy area to sit down when you need a quick little break. But again, we did find that speakeasy, which had a nice grassy, shady area. So, I mean, that could be a good alternative if you happen to find your way in there. And I mean, that's basically it as far as, you know, the perks go of that. And involving the bathrooms. Again, yes, there are some nicer bathrooms, but I didn't use them even one time. So I don't feel like that is a huge deal to me. And again, I am not one of those people who wants to hang out in VIP very long. So it was just nice to have it for those small conveniences, but I wasn't spending a lot of time in there. I only watched one show from in there, which was Harry Styles. So you'll sort of see I was off to the side of the stage. And honestly, I really regretted doing that. I should have just gone out into the crowd, and that's what I did every other time that I went to see a show, because it was just so much better to be out and in the crowd rather than like in this weird side area where you don't even have like a super clear view of the stage. So that was definitely a learning lesson. I do not watch shows from inside VIP. It's not for me. But that being said, again, I want to reiterate one more time, do I think VIP is the only way? Absolutely not. Get GA. You go and have a good ass time. I had an incredible time when I had a GA ticket, and I had an incredible time when I had a VIP ticket. It is 1000% up to you and what you want to do, what you want to spend your money on. As I said, it is already a very expensive weekend. So do I think VIP is an absolute must-have? No. Not at all. Alrighty, friends, I think this is where I leave you. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I know that this was not like a full-on Coachella vlog, but I hope that you enjoyed this video anyway, and I will see you guys in my next one.